catch 2019 campaign in which he was a second-team all-conference selection. So Hargis will be back there to return for the Boxers, and alongside Likas Serrano as Charles prepares to kick things off. Boxers will be defending the east end zone as the sun gets low in the sky here in western Washington County. Northwest Conference Football, Pacific and George Fox. Boxers won the first matchup 26-3, looking for the sweep. George Fox has had the upper hand in recent years in this series, but it has been very competitive since that first year of George Fox football in 2014. The kickoff sails into the end zone for a touchback, and the Boxers will go to work on offense, led by the 6'1", 180-pound senior quarterback Kenyon Harris, second-team all-conference selection in 2019 when he completed 74% of his passes for 2,000-plus yards and 17 touchdowns. He's got a bruiser in the backfield in Joshua Harris, 5.3 yards a carry in 2019 and 15 touchdowns. And Scott, this wide receiver group has a chance to be very special. Not only Ty Hargis, but you've got a returning all-conference tall target in Kyle Kern, a 6'5", 200 junior, and Isaiah Petrie. We'll talk more about him coming in, a transfer who started his college career at the University of Oregon as the Boxers were pounded up the middle with Harris. A short gain on first down, a yard, maybe two on the first carry of the game. The tackle made by Ryan Peters for George Fox. Mentioned Jim Kraft coming back as the offensive coordinator. He's got to be thrilled to death to actually have a running game to work with here in Forest Grove. That was not the case back in the early 2010s, as the Boxers were primarily a passing team with a very young offensive line that eventually matured into a strong group, and the running game developed slowly over the coming years, and now is a strength on this team. Motion man behind the quarterback as Hargis takes the pitch and muffs it. It's loose on the carpet, and it may have been covered by George Fox. It will be Bruins football. The middle linebacker, freshman Nash Wiley, I believe, jumped on that football, and the Bruins take possession on the second play of the game inside the Boxer red zone at the 17, make it the 18-yard line.
Well, they sent Hargis in motion. He goes behind the quarterback. All of a sudden, they're going to run option left, and couldn't tell if it was actually a bad pitch or just a mishandle by Hargis. Tries to dive on top of it, but like you said, Nash Wiley just out-muscles him for the ball, so a big break for the Bruins as they'll start their first drive at the Pacific 23-yard line. 14:07
to go, less than a minute into this game, and the Boxers cough it up in their own end as stepping back to take the snap, Hayden Shawn, junior quarterback out of Medford, Oregon, and they will hand it off on a fly sweep going to the left side. Flag comes in the middle of the field from the back judge on this play. There was Sam Corey who took the handoff on the fly sweep right to left. Corey, a senior out of Kennewick, got his first game action in his career 2 weeks ago, catching one pass for 4 yards with a couple of carries. And we'll get the indication of the penalty from our referee. It is an illegal block below the waist against George Fox, so that'll be costly, bouncing them 15 yards back out of the Boxer red zone.
Usually you don't see the back judge making that's usually an umpire's call in that situation, but the back judge saw something in illegal block, and that's a big penalty, marching them back 15 yards all the way back to their own 33-yard line.
So a 15-yard march back to the 33. It'll be first down and 25 yards to go. Just underway here at Forest Grove, no score. Shotgun set, single back in the backfield for Hayden Shawn. And he looks to throw on this first down and long, not finding anybody, gets pressured, delivers. It is caught at the 25-yard line and dragging his way forward for a few yards after the catch. Alex Garrett, senior wide receiver out of Snohomish, Glacier Peak High School. Dalton Pafer-Lockling, the outside linebacker for Pacific, makes the tackle on the play.
Pafer-Lockling was in position, but he just kind of quickly turned his head when the ball arrived. The receiver made the adjustment, makes the catch, so get quite a few of those yards back up to the Pacific 23-yard line.
10-yard gain on the play for Garrett, who caught 7 balls for 103 to lead the way for George Fox in the first meeting. Second down, 15 yards to go as Boxers showing blitz from the left side as the handoff and a big gaping hole on the left side, crashing inside the 10 and down to the 6-yard line goes that freshman running back out of Prosser, Washington, Logan Candenoza, 5'10", 181 pounds. Prosser, a powerhouse in Washington State. That's the alma mater of Kellen Moore, among other talented players. And that's enough for a George Fox first down and goal at the Boxers' 7-yard line.
Just broke it up the middle. Looked like the defense was expecting Sean to keep it, but instead hands it off. Big hole up the middle, powers the way downfield. First and goal for the Bruins.
So a big turnaround from the first meeting as the Boxers controlled the clock in an early drive. It's a zone read keeper for the quarterback, Sean, who pounds his way inside the 5-yard line down to the 4. Give him 3 yards on that carry.
Well, it looked like they went to a different quarterback, as maybe this is the goal line quarterback. It looked like they actually went to Austin Davis as the quarterback, and so that time he kept it himself, tried to bull his way forward, stacked up by the Pacific defense, giving about 3 yards on the carry.
Davis did not have a rushing or passing attempt against the Boxers in the first meeting of the spring. So Davis will check out. Sean back in with the backs in an I formation behind him. Fano Atele, 5'9", 223-pound junior fullback, leading the way for Candenoza. And roll out right for Sean, looking to the end zone. Wide open man, it's caught for a touchdown. Joshua Hauenstein, 6'4", 200-pound freshman tight end out of Temecula, California, with the reception and the first touchdown of the spring for the George Fox Bruins.
Faked the sweep. They just dragged the tight end across the line of scrimmage. He just popped open in the end zone. So good job on the little fake on the sweep. Rolls out, and all of a sudden that tight end just sneaking underneath the coverage, pops open right at the goal line. Just had to lob it up to him for the easy touchdown. So they take advantage of the turnover with extra point and make it 7-0 Bruins.
A 4-play, 17-yard scoring drive in just a little over 2 minutes of action, set up by the Boxer fumble. A low snap is handled well. The kick is through the uprights and good. And the George Fox Bruins are on the board. It's a 7-0 lead for the visitors from Newburgh with 11:55 to go in the opening period.
Well, tonight's game, obviously with the restrictions, we actually do not have any fans in the stands, but it's really good to see. You see a nice throng of people just outside the fence watching the game, so they can't get inside, but they got a nice view outside the fence. So we do have some fans around the stadium, which is good to see.
So I said it was Serrano back on kick return. That is actually number 28 for Pacific and not number 20. And that is Weston Zaire alongside Ty Hargis, awaiting the kickoff from Nick Charles, his second boot of the day. Now, we will warn you in advance that although this game will count in the standings, the official standings for the 2021 spring football season, the second half of this game will in all essence be a JV contest with each team using younger players. Again, the kickoff goes into the end zone, a second touchback for Charles. So we'll have our hands full keeping track of all the players on the field, the duplicate numbers and such. Charles had 2 kickoffs last week. One of those went for a touchback, and he's put both of them into the end zone so far tonight. So for the second time, Boxers will start a drive at their own 25-yard line, now trailing 7-0. Cash Taylor is, actually no, that is Josh Harris who takes the opening handoff, and he comes up shy of the line of scrimmage this time. As the tackle's made by White Adams, a McMinnville native. Adams outside, one of the 3 safeties on this team, 6', 204-pound senior out of McMinnville. We'll call it no gain, maybe a loss of half a yard on that play for Harris. Second down and 10 for Pacific. Ball in the left hash mark. Offset eyes. The fullback Isaac Unga checks in. 2 receivers out to the right side as the handoff goes to Harris. Hit in the backfield, able to fight his way forward. Only to the 26-yard line. Adams got the first hit on him, and the finishing touch put on by the defensive end, Ryan Peters.
Well, just good speed by the George Fox defense. They tried the little misdirection delay to the weak side of the field. Looked like initially there was a hole, but again, swarming George Fox defense closed quickly. Harris couldn't get upfield, tripped up.
3-3-5 defense run by John Bates and Chris Casey for George Fox. 3rd down and long. Let's see if the Bruins bring heat. They rush 4. As Harris scrambles, coming to the near sideline to the 30, takes a big hit there and is down at the 31-yard line as is popped pretty good by Cross Knoll, one of the backup safeties, 6', 200-pound junior out of Kashmir, and that'll bring on the punt unit.
Actually, that was Nick Bauer that was in the game. The Pendleton junior, he came into the game on that series. So again, looks like Pacific kind of rotating some kids in.
So Bauer getting some early action, and that'll get them flowing early on in the game, taking a hit like that. Pretty good pressure on the punt, although they pull up. It's a short line drive kick, and it's fielded at the 43-yard line by George Fox. That was Justin Montijo on the return team. So good start for the Bruins. Excellent field position on their first drive inside the Boxer red zone. This drive will start at the George Fox 43-yard line with 9:53 to go in the first quarter. A 7-0 George Fox lead.
Well, Bauer in the 2019 season, he actually started the season the starting quarterback before finally Kenyon Harris came in and replaced him in the Linfield game. And again, Kenyon Harris didn't give up the job after that.
Sean in shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 1 back in the formation on 1st down and 10 at the 43. Boxers primarily 3 down linemen. Matt Kimball plays that boxer position. Pressure on Sean, able to evade the first rush, but won't get away from everyone as he goes down at the 43-yard line. A sack by Rustin Williams, part of that Sherwood connection to this program. Of course, defensive coordinator Lucas Gilgan, a standout for the Bowmen back in the day before a brilliant career at Willamette. He may be on track to be a head coach in the near future.
Yeah, he's very active and a great job of basically surrounding Sean, flushed out of the pocket immediately when he dropped back to pass, tried to cut it up the middle, and also Rustin Williams came from the outside, belted him down for about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
So a sack for Williams brings up 2nd down and 13 to go from the 40. Empty set for the Cascade Christian High School graduate Hayden Sean. Early pressure, takes a shot as he throws it down the middle. Incomplete. Ends up on his backside at the 30-yard line. So the Boxers bringing heat on this second drive, and Sean paying the price.
Took a shot as he just was setting up in the pocket and threw a dangerous pass over the middle. There's 2 white jerseys, but there are at least 4 or 5 different black and red jerseys in the area as well. Just whizzes by everybody, but again, great pressure up the middle.
So George Fox faced with a 3rd down and long now. 3rd down and 13 to go. They need to get to the Boxer 47-yard line. Straight drop for Sean. Pressure comes and he's sacked at the 31-yard line. So the Boxer defense rises up on this second drive. Noah Steverson, sophomore from Rohnert Park, California, takes down the quarterback. And the Bruins will be punting from the 31-yard line after a loss of 9.
Well, the offensive line, Brett Schuler, the right tackle, just got beat badly on the play and just a speed rush on the outside, so can't blame Sean on that one. And just love seeing that where he just comes flying from the outside and Steverson gets the sack. So great series by the Pacific defense, gets the 3 and out. Good, should get some good field position back.
And that's an I think might have gotten a piece of this punt. I think it was partially blocked. It may not get to the 50-yard line. Takes a friendly roll for George Fox. It'll finally come to a rest at the 47-yard line for the Boxers. Rustin Williams, not only a sack, but a blocked punt as well. And the Boxers in great shape on their second drive of the game with 8:14 to go in the opening period, down 7.
Yeah, they got a little piece of it, and unfortunately for the Boxers, took a nice little George Fox bounce right around the 38-yard line, bounce about 15 yards forward, but still good field position for the Boxers. See if they can get something going on their third series of the game.
Boxers will be looking for their first down as they begin their third drive. 3 and out on their last possession, a fumble in the red zone on their first possession.
I think it's Bauer still in there.
And we got movement on the right side of the line as the snap comes back to the Pendleton junior, Nick Bauer. We'll see if George Fox jumped first or were they drawn off. Well, the ball is already moving backwards, so false start penalty against Pacific. Second penalty of the game, first on the Boxers.
Like somebody on the right side moved a little bit early, and Bauer's a good athlete, really good baseball player at Pendleton. He's a baseball player at Pacific as well, so well-rounded athlete, quarterback position, and see if Nick can have a good series here.
That's another challenge that these athletic programs are dealing with right now, with all sports in progress simultaneously. And pounding up the middle, Harris, he coughs it up. Loose football at the 45. Bruins think they have it, waiting for an official signal, and it's George Fox ball on the second Boxer fumble of the night.
Well, Harris goes up the middle. He finally found some room, but right when he's going down to the ground, somebody put a hat on the ball, comes out, and the Bruins get on top of it. So another turnover for the Boxers, this time at their own 46-yard line. So again, good field position for the Bruins. See if they can take advantage of this turnover. Scored a touchdown on the previous turnover in the game. So not a good start for the Boxer offense. 3 and out and 2 turnovers.
Well, the Boxer defense certainly picked them up on that last George Fox drive. They'll be tasked with doing the same again as the Bruins begin their second drive in Boxer territory. Wide receiver in motion, left to right on first down. The handoff goes to Candanosa, and he picks his way to the 43-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play for the freshman running back, Michael Timmerman. Talented sophomore linebacker out of Torrance, California, makes the stop for Pacific.
Yeah, Timmerman got a lot of action as a freshman and a little bit undersized, but he can fly to the ball, so he's got good speed in the middle. He's not going to overpower you, but he can get to the sideline pretty quickly. So, again, you like the speed at the linebacker position with Williams and also Timmerman.
Athletic family, brother playing baseball at CSUN, sister Kate playing basketball at Concordia Irvine. Drop snap by Sean, able to pick it up off the turf, but they say the knee was down. So that'll be a loss on the play, and it looks like a George Fox lineman is down as well. That's Dylan Gabriel, one of 2 starting offensive linemen out of Portland Powerhouse Central Catholic High School. And he stays down on his back at the Boxer 48-yard line. Sean losing yardage back to the other side of the 50-yard line to the 49, and that will bring up third down and long once again for George Fox.
Unfortunately for Gabriel, Sean can't handle the snap, but it looked like it was a decent snap, and it was just a case of Gabriel. I was kind of looking at it. He got kind of cut down awkwardly, or right when he was possibly going to go and protect the quarterback or go after the ball, and he just kind of fell awkwardly on there. He's getting up, but possibly could have twisted something or just took a little shot around the knee, or he's kind of gingerly walking off on his own power right now. And just the case that's the college rules, once your knee's down, you're down on the play. You can't get back up even if you're not touched. So just an unfortunate snap on that play. Now bring about 3rd and 15 for the Bruins at their own 49.
Gabriel, 6 foot, 291-pound sophomore out of Portland. His backup, Garrett Warner, just a freshman, 5'11", 268 out of Crater High School in Central Point. Played on a 5A runner-up his senior year, and a penalty against George Fox will back him up even further. That's a 5-yard false start penalty on the Bruins.
Well, the other Central Catholic offensive line, Daniel Jeffries on the left side, the left tackle, he started pulling up way early. March it back another 5 yards back to the 44. Now 3rd and 20 for the Bruins.
And that's your other Central Catholic Ram right there, Jeffries. Already mentioned Brett Schuler, the senior right tackle, 6'6", 300, first team all conference. And then the other guard is Jarris Jackson, who played his high school ball at Tualatin in the Three Rivers League, 6 foot, 250-pound junior. Sean again having to run for his life, coming to the near sideline, tries to stiff arm, but he'll be taken down near midfield. And Rustin Williams again able to run down the quarterback after a gain of about 6 yards. Let's see where he stepped out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the George Fox 49. So a 5-yard scramble on 3rd down at 20. And the Boxer defense steps up again.
Oh, see the quickness and the speed of the Boxers. They're in the backfield quickly again, and Sean just had to take it to the outside. Good containment, didn't let him turn it up the sideline and wrestle it out of bounds. Only about 4 or 5 yards on the carry, so Bruins will have to punt.
Ethan Hoffman, the George Fox punter, will boot it away. Ty Hargis back to return for Pacific. Boxers bring a strong rush again as Hoffman able to get this one away. And you want to look for a George Fox highlight from 2 weeks ago is probably the play of Hoffman, who was brilliant. 6 punts, he averaged 44.2 and put 3 of them inside the 20-yard line. And this one will end up inside the 20 as well, as it's spotted down at the Boxers' 6-yard line.
Well, again, it's going to be Bauer, so not sure why we're not seeing Kenyon Harris on the field right now as the quarterback. So, again, we'll see Bauer for this series, and I think we saw Harris for the first one and haven't seen him since.
Well, George Fox definitely winning the field position battle in the early going, that's for sure. They lead 7-0 on the scoreboard with 5:50 to go in the opening period of this game as Bauer sets up in shotgun, waiting for the snap. And running play, again, only minimal yardage on the right side of that line. Isaiah Petrie, big wide receiver, checking in from the Boxers sideline. Nash Wiley on the stop there. Only a yard gained on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 to go. Taylor, we're not the only ones having trouble seeing these guys. The red numerals on black jerseys always a challenge, particularly in that part of the field from our perspective, as Harris back in the backfield gets the carry. And a little more running room this time as he takes it out to the just past the 10-yard line.
Yeah, the 5, 6s, 8, and 9s from our vantage point, especially at night, are not easy to see. So might misidentify a few players tonight.
3rd down and 5 facing the Boxers, still looking to move the chains for the first time. Split backs behind the quarterback, Bauer in shotgun. A play fake, they'll run option to the short side of the field, and a flag comes in behind the play. If the play stands, it'll be close to a first down, depending on where he went out of bounds. Abe Smith able to usher the ball carrier out. They spotted him out at the 15, so he's a yard shy of the first down marker. And we'll wait for the penalty signal, probably going against Pacific here.
Thrown right near the line of scrimmage, you have to think it's going to be some type of hold, and in which it is, and George Fox is going to decline it.
So the Bruins able to hold the Boxers again here. They will decline that holding penalty, forcing a 4th down and 1. And the Boxers deliberate momentarily before sending that punt team out there. Again, Ian Falconer, the first-year head coach of Pacific. 10 years as the offensive line coach, a local native out of Lake Oswego Lake Ridge High School in Portland State. And a win in his coaching debut, and he had to feel pretty proud of his team's performance 2 weeks ago in that 26-3 win at George Fox. Low snap taken up off the turf and a line drive punt. Let's see, did that hit a George Fox player? It went through a crowd. Nobody covering for Pacific. They'll let it roll to a stop at the 48-yard line. Both these teams ushering in new punters this year. That was Chase, I beg your pardon, Colin Wires on that kick, a junior out of Henderson, Nevada.
Well, Pacific should have done on that play. They should have acted like it hit a white jersey.
Yeah, I would have jumped on that football.
Jumped on it right away and started pointing just to see if the official would possibly call.
Well, it looks like it hit a Boxer player because George Fox is going to opt to spot the ball at the first touch position, in which case a Bruin should have picked up the football and tried to return it.
Well, the ball was kicked in traffic, and it was where it was. It looked like it hit somebody. And like I said, if I was Pacific, I would have just tried to dive on top of it and try to convince the official it hit a white jersey. But they said it did hit a black jersey, so good field position at the Pacific 36.
3 of the 4 drives for George Fox starting in Pacific territory. A little misdirection, and that's a disaster. That's a big loss on the play for the ball carrier. Skylar Clemick, linebacker, making the stop for Pacific as Dylan Dobbins took that handoff, and he gets destroyed in the backfield for a loss of 6.
I haven't had any luck going wide in this game. Tried again, that fly sweep. A great job of Clemick, just come from the outside, hog tying him down. He's going to lose about 6.
Second down, 16 to go. It's turned into a defensive battle here so far. 7-0 George Fox lead. Ball at the 43-yard line. Straight handoff. Big hole in the middle for Candenosa as he gets the lost yardage back, plus 3 or 4. Taken down inside the 35-yard line. I'll bring up a manageable third down. We'll call it third down and a short, or a long 7, we'll say, from the 34-yard line of Pacific.
You get about 12 of those yards back, and just a good power run right up the middle. They've had success up the middle, so you have to think that maybe make a little bit more of a concerted effort to go between the tackles, attacking the specific defense.
Line to gain is the Boxer 27-yard line. And a bunch formation on the right side for George Fox. Single receiver to the left, single back in the backfield to the left of the quarterback, Sean, in shotgun. Boxers have gotten a lot of pressure in that backfield so far. Loading up for a deep throw that is knocked away on a nice play by Alika Serrano, the most experienced member of that defensive back, the safety group. Serrano, a 6-foot, 190-pound senior from Silverdale. Intended receiver on the play, Logan Hanby, a 6'4", 197-pound senior from Auburn.
Well, George Fox kind of in the college no man's land at the Pacific 35-yard line, too deep in the territory to punt, so they're going to go for it. And there's good coverage downfield, like you said. Matt tried to about 20 yards in the middle of the field, but well covered by Serrano, right in position to get his hand in the way.
Serrano and Rob Wood, the starters at safety. Cora Atkinson, Cialoa, and Declan Brown, the cornerbacks. Brown, the most experienced member of that defensive back group. Blitz coming, trouble for Sean, able to scramble to his left as a running lane down the sideline, comes back to the middle of the field, weaves his way to the 25, and he's going to have a first down.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen, but it looked like it was covered by the Boxers, so Sean took it out of the pocket. It looked like they had him hemmed in, but he made a nice cut back toward the middle of the field. Once it looked like he was going toward the sideline, weaved his way through traffic, and able to pick up the first down, the Pacific 24-yard line.
So on 4th down and 7, a 10-yard scramble for Hayden Sean, the 6', 208-pound junior quarterback from Medford. And George Fox keeps the drive alive at the Boxer 24-yard line. We're under 2 minutes to go in this opening period. A 7-0 George Fox Bruins lead. Candenosa the lone back in the backfield. 2 receivers wide side right for the Bruins, and looks like timeout called before the snap by George Fox. They'll spend their first timeout with 1:41 to go. Well, Chris Casey now in his 7th year, really 8th year when you consider when they actually started football operations in Newburgh. A non-competitive year, but they had the kids on campus, they practiced, and they started putting the pieces together of this program. Casey, a very well-respected high school coach in Oregon, won a state championship at Aloha, a team that plays in the brutally tough Metro League, a perennial doormat, but led them to a rare championship. He's got a Northwest Conference pedigree, having played college ball at Linfield and coached at Linfield and Whitworth.
Yeah, he's had the Northwest Conference experience, so it's almost like the perfect fit coming back home. George Fox, obviously, pretty good lineage in the family as well.
Newburgh native as well.
Newburgh native as well, so just the perfect fit. And like I said, he's had a lot of success, but again, the one bugaboo everybody in the conference has just haven't been able to beat the Linfield Wildcats.
Well, Pacific can certainly relate to that. Only one really competitive game against Linfield in the program's return. Throw to the near side, and that's Garrett on the reception, working his way up the right sideline before he's pushed out of bounds inside the 15-yard line by Serrano.
Well, they fake it up the middle, a quick hitter to the outside, and the receiver, Garrett, was just wide open. Nobody's covering him, able to get about 6 or 7 yards upfield, finally tackled by Serrano, but picks up just short of the first down marker, picks up about 9.
Second catch of the game for the senior Garrett, who had just 1 reception last year. So the top receiver for George Fox is not playing here in the spring. Leon Johnson III, who had an outstanding freshman year. Sean on the keeper again, an effective run, takes it down to the 6-yard line. And he'll have the first down with a gain of 9. Rustin Williams, yet another stop for Pacific.
Well, they ran the same exact play, except they're looking for the quick hitter. That this time it was well covered. All of a sudden, Sean takes off, goes right at the middle, had a huge hole, finally tackled. inside the 10. It'll be first and goal at the 6. So again, well covered on the outside, but all of a sudden Sean just takes up right at the middle of the field, has a big gainer, and finally tackled.
Well, we saw Sean effectively scramble 2 weeks ago. He had 6 carries for 40 yards, and there were a couple of plays where the Boxers appeared to have him bottled up, and he was able to escape. So he has shown that escapability through both games of this series. First and goal handoff, and good line surge on the left side of that line for Fano Atelli, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
Simple dive right up the middle, and just a nice push by the middle of the offensive line for George Fox, and powers away in the end zone for the 6-yard touchdown run. So it's like the Bruins have kind of flipped the script as they're getting off to the good start and get the touchdown from 6 yards out right before the first quarter's up with extra point, can extend the lead to 14-0.
7-play, 37-yard scoring drive in 3:53, again set up by a Pacific, or set up in Pacific territory on this drive. 2 Boxer turnovers, a short punt, and George Fox has kept the pressure on throughout this quarter with outstanding field position, as the kick is good by Charles, and it's now a 14-0 lead. Charles didn't get to attempt a PAT last week, but hit his only field goal from 24 yards out, and now he is 2 for 2 as the Bruins take a 2-touchdown lead. Now you look at George Fox in 2019, and the strength of that team definitely on the defensive side of the ball, led by Daniel Campos, the Defensive Player of the Year and leading tackler in the Northwest Conference. They had 11 all-conference selections. Very few of those guys on the field today, either gone through graduation or not participating at this time. Brent Schuler, the only returning first-team all-conference member of the offense on that right tackle position. And a lot of newcomers on the defensive side.
Yeah, that's been their strength over the years. They've had some pretty good defenses overall. The biggest problem has been able to have a consistent offense year in and year out.
Line drive kick. Boxers will get their first chance to return as it's picked up by Hargis at the 11-yard line, dancing to the 20, to the 25, and goes down there. Hargis always dangerous with that ball in his hands, and he initially came to Pacific as a multi-sport athlete, fine basketball player as well, a point guard at Lebanon, but only played basketball his first year with the Boxers, as he is focused on football. He was a state championship winning quarterback at Lebanon High, leading the Warriors to their first state title in football. A 14-yard return for Hargis, and the Boxers continue to battle the field position game. That's 3 drives that are started at the 25, 1 at their own 6, and 1 drive at the 47-yard line. Back to throw on first down is Bauer. Good coverage over on that far sideline. And the pass is knocked away by Lucas Schwinn, an experienced 5'10", 187-pound junior quarterback out of Churchill High School in Eugene.
Just a quick stop route right up the sideline, and Schwinn read it immediately, knocked the ball away right when it arrives. So again, it's Bauer calling the signal. So again, the big question is the status of Kenyon Harris.
Bauer only played the final series 2 weeks ago and didn't get a chance to attempt a pass. Boxers may just be protecting Harris here as a quick toss into the slot left side and down to the 35-yard line on the final play of the first half, as that was Ty Vargas on the reception. As the horn sounds, ending the first quarter. George Fox with a 14-0 lead, but Pacific finally sees a 1 on that down marker.
Yeah, good job of Vargas just popping open right in the middle. They go 5 wide on the play. Just sat right in the middle of the zone, makes the catch, and able to get upfield and pick up the first down, and see if they can finally get some going. Not a good offensive start for the Boxers as they finally get a first down right at the gun. So again, big question is not sure if Kenyon Harris is hurt or they're just rotating Bauer in, but again, we only saw him in the first series, and that's been it.
10-yard gain on that play for Vargas, so the Boxers will have first down and 10 for the 35-yard line when they come back out to start the second period. And George Fox Bruins have to be feeling much better about themselves after a strong first quarter following a fairly dominant performance by Pacific 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, took advantage of some turnovers, and the Pacific offense hasn't done much so far in this game. And the George Fox defense flying all over the field, really showing good quickness and speed, and not giving Pacific really any chances to make any plays downfield.
Second quarter, first down and 10 for Pacific on their own 35.
Bauer still at quarterback as we begin the second quarter with Josh Harris in the backfield, and Bauer tucks and runs quickly, can only get back to the line of scrimmage on that play.
Well, he's going to go with a quick little skinny post in the middle of the field. It was covered. All of a sudden he took off up the middle, but really no room, stacked up immediately by the defensive line for no gain.
Bauer, second team All-Columbia River Conference selection at Pendleton, threw for over 2,000 yards his senior year, 2-year starter for the Buckaroos. Didn't play his first year in a Boxer uniform, and then was the starting quarterback at the beginning of 2019. Appeared in 5 games overall. Boxers will hand it off on second down, and again, not a lot of room there for Josh Harris as Riley Lusk, who missed all of 2019, is back, and he's a force on that defensive line, a 6'1", 262-pound senior out of Prosser.
Third down and 8.
Pickup of 2 yards on the play for Harris, and the Boxers facing third down and long once again. They are 0 for 2 so far on third downs. 3 wide receivers set, split backs in the backfield. Straight drop for Bauer, has time, looking deep and overthrown and intercepted. Intercepted by the Bruins. And coming back the other way with it is Montijo, the free safety, taken down at the 49-yard line of George Fox. Third Boxer turnover of the half, and once again, great field position for the Bruins.
Well, it looked like Bauer just overthrew the receiver. I think he's trying to hit Kern downfield, but just kind of airmailed over his head. Montijo, the safety, just circles under it, makes the catch, gets upfield to midfield, so turnover is just really hurting the Boxers, and not a good throw that time from Bauer, and Montijo just doing a great job of playing center field. Nice little return up the midfield.
Montijo, the leading tackler 2 weeks ago, with 13 stops, including 1 behind the line against Pacific. Has 5, make that 6 career interceptions now with that pick. And it'll be first down and 10 at the 50-yard line for George Fox. 14-0 lead for the Bruins, in great field position again. Sean scrambling left, throwing deep. He's got a man down the field, and it is incomplete. Good recovery there by Koa Atkinson Cialoa, who really stood out 2 weeks ago. The sophomore kind of gained steam, didn't appear in a game the first half of 2019, but worked his way into the rotation, and now gives the Boxers a real physical pair of cornerbacks as he teams up with big Declan Brown, who is 6'1", 205. Atkinson Cialoa listed at 5'11", 190, a sophomore out of Holualoa, Hawaii.
That was good recovery because the Hawker definitely had a step on him.
Delay handoff to Candenosa, and he is wrapped up right away and wrestled down by Matt Kimball. They call it the Boxer position. Kimball, 6', 225-pound sophomore. He's kind of a hybrid defensive end linebacker, and Coach Falconer likens it to a position that was really brought to life by one Lawrence Taylor back in the old Bill Parcells Giants days.
Well, that was the case. It looked like Pacific jumped offside. I think the George Fox coaching staff was screaming for the offside. They don't call it.
Third down and 9.
The defensive line didn't make contact, and great job of wrapping up right near the line of scrimmage for only a yard.
So third down and 9 to go for George Fox. Trips left. Shotgun snap taken by Sean, rolling left, launching deep again. Same play, this time well overthrown and out of bounds. Again looking for Hawker down that left sideline, but bracket coverage by the Boxers.
Yeah, Chase Hoffman is in position, also the cornerback, Atkinson Cialoa, so he just threw that one up toward the sideline, but no chance, and it's probably better that he actually threw that one away because, again, blanket coverage, more or less a cover 2, so he's definitely bracketed on the play, so good coverage downfield by the Boxers, and the Bruins will have to punt.
That'll bring Ethan Hoffman, the sophomore from Medford, former teammate of Hayden Shawn at Cascade Christian High School. for his second punt of the night. Hargis standing back around his 10-yard line. 12:33 to go and counting here in the first half. High spiraling kick. Hargis will let it bounce, and the Bruins will down this one inside the 10. So continuing dominance of field position by the visiting Bruins. It'll be Boxer ball inside the 5-yard line.
Well, Ty has to come up and field that one. That was kind of up in the air and just hesitated enough and decided to let that one go. But as a senior, you think with his experience that he would know to come and field that one. But again, he just kind of hesitated for a split second, and all of a sudden they get a nice roll. So again, poor field position for the Boxers.
Well, Boxers have a great lineage of wide receivers in this program. You go back to the early days, and Jordan Fukumoto, Jacob Lawrence out of Sherwood was an automatic first down maker for this team for several years. Then Kobe Williams, the electrifying Las Vegas native, came in and set records, but Ty Hargis is going to break those records, it appears, as a flag comes in on first down. He's already got the receptions record for a career, and likely will break the yardage mark in the early going in fall 2021.
And another kid, Nathan Suyamatsu, outstanding career. He was an all-league player as well. He was more or less the main receiver when he was a senior. So like you said, they've had some outstanding outstanding receivers.
Did not see an indication on the penalty.
I think they did call a hold against the Boxers.
And it looks as if George Fox will decline. Not a lot of capital in a holding penalty at this point of the field after stopping a short running play. That was Cash Taylor on the carry, a gain of 2, second down and 8 to go for the Boxers' 7-yard line. Nick Bauer awaiting the snap near the goal line. Pressure coming up the middle as they will run it right into that pressure. And again, not a lot of productivity for Taylor.
We just stacked it up immediately. It looked like Ryan Peters, the defensive end, kind of went low and able to trip him up right near the line of scrimmage. Looked like no gain. They bring up 3rd and 8, and Boxers don't get it here. They'll be punting from their own end zone.
Peters out of my own backyard, Rochester, Washington, there in southwest Washington, out of Black Hills High School. That's an area that's grown a ton since I was running around in that part of the world. Bauer back in the end zone as he tries to set up a middle screen, and that is knocked down. So the Boxers will have to punt from deep in the end zone. Riley Lusk able to bat that pass, and that was kind of a specialty of his as he broke up 5 passes during his last full season in 2018.
Just tried a little center screen, and Lusk just got his hands in there and knocked it away. Luckily, it didn't go straight up in the air or have a chance possibly to just catch that one in the air and have an easy touchdown. But he does get the deflection, and again, George Fox will get a great field position back.
Yeah, Montijo standing in Boxer territory awaiting this punt from Colin Weirs, and it is a short, wobbly kick that hits at the 41-yard line, takes a Boxer bounce, and will go out of bounds just shy of the 50, marked out at the 49-yard line. So Boxers fortunate at this point to be down just 2 scores, considering how dominant the field position has been with 3 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, it could easily possibly be 3 or 4 score game, but the defense has kept them in it. They've done a pretty good job overall. I really can't blame them for the first touchdown. And they've been making some plays defensively, but the offense has just been grounded in this game. But only 1 first down so far.
Ball on the left hash mark, first down at 10 at the Pacific 49-yard line. Hayden Shawn has gone the distance at quarterback so far. A run up the middle, and that's the big back Telly out of San Diego. Stopped by Rustin Williams after a gain of 5 yards on the play. But he was able to get some pretty good momentum going before he was first touched.
Again, they've had success going up the middle, and this time just a simple trap play. Had a little bit of room, finally wrestled down, but able to bull his way forward for about 5 or 6 yards.
Boxers starting defensive lineman tonight, Loudon Reese out of nearby Hillsboro, a sophomore. Noah Steverson, who had that sack on the first drive out of Rohnert Park, California, also a soph. And sophomore Braden Laughlin out of Coronado, California. Flag comes down on the near side. It will be a first down if the play stands. That was Jacob Dismay, a 210-pound senior tight end out of Dayton, a small school power in Oregon, but this one's coming back, an eligible receiver downfield on the Bruins.
Well, they have the perfect play called. Pacific goes with pretty much all the linebackers blitz, and they sent about 7 or 8, and just a little quick dump-off pass, but I think one of the offensive linemen was just a little bit too quickly downfield, didn't hold it enough, and I think the reason was because he saw the blitz coming and got out of there quickly.
5-yard penalty will make it second down and 10 as the ball moves back to the original line of scrimmage of the 49-yard line. That wipes out a 14-yard gain and a first down. Back to throw is Sean. Pressured again and scrambling. A lot of green in front of him. He's got a long way to go just to get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up some positive yards. He goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line and pick up a 4, but that brings up third down and 6 to go.
Steverson had a chance to bring him back bring him down in the backfield, couldn't wrap him up, and all of a sudden he gets outside the pocket, gets up the sideline, able to make a positive gain, gets up to the Pacific 45-yard line, so bring up about third, long 5.
Now the Boxer defense has been put to the test in this first half as they have been backed up on their side of the field much of the way. Extra defensive backs coming in. Rob Ward, the junior from Vallejo. Samuel Cortez, a senior from Delhi, California. On third down, 6 to go from the 45. Sean back to throw, scrambling left, throws near side, caught near the 40-yard line, but I think the momentum took the receiver Garrett back short of the line to gain. They'll mark him out at the 40, needed to get to the 39. It'll be 4th and 1 and a likely go-for-it situation here as Wood gets credit for the tackle.
Run out pattern, but you need to get to the first down marker, need to get it around the 39, but only ran to the 40. Wood pushes them out of bounds. They roll out to the left side. So obviously a spot, especially the way the defense has been playing in Pacific territory, so we're going to go for it here. If I'm George Falk, I just try to muscle it right up the middle where they've had the success.
Payfor Lockling checking in at linebacker from the Boxers sideline on 4th down and 1 as the Bruins hustle to the line of scrimmage. They'll stay in shotgun on this short situation. Before the handoff, a timeout called by Pat Casey, or Chris Casey and the Bruins. Pat, of course, his brother, the multiple national championship winning baseball coach at Oregon State. And George Fox will take the timeout here with 8:13 to go in the first half, facing 4th down and 1, leading 14-0.
Well, he frantically was running toward the referee on the sideline right before the snap, so they did finally catch it. So I don't think he liked what he saw, and I think if you're Pacific, you try to pinch the middle in this spot. So that's what they tried to do on the play before they did call the timeout.
I'd like to remind you, stick with us for halftime as the new Boxers athletic director and the former head football coach here at Pacific, Keith Buckley, will be joining us. That's quite a year in which to make your debut as the athletic director. Not a lot of athletics to direct there for several months, and then all of a sudden every sport going on at once.
And then probably like 50 pages of protocols on every sport on what to do too.
Oh,
so
boy. Glad it ain't me, I'll just say that. Here we go, 4th down and 1 to go from the 40. The handoff, no, it's a keeper for Sean, and he looked to be in trouble momentarily, but again able to escape and pick up positive yards, a gain of 3, and he'll move the sticks for the Bruins.
Well, they fake it up the middle. This time he just took it just to the left side. It looked like they once had him kind of boxed in. They had defenders there, but good athleticism by Sean, just kind of squeezed his way through and muscles his way forward to pick up 2 yards.
Actually, I'll spot him down at the 38-yard line, but he only needed 1 yard. He got 2, so first down for George Fox.